the sound and the camera. I noticed sometimes the camera shakes because because the table isn't that stable. But I'm getting better at everything, and this is exactly what I'm gonna demonstrate here. Okay, so. It's beautiful. Okay, so pencil ran away. Okay. Okay. Do you know what this is? Everything's mirrored. It's really okay. This is the Dunning Kruger Effect. The Dunning Kruger Effect. So I'm gonna explain this. Okay. So So what's happening here? Oh my god. The colors. All the colors changed. Interesting. Whatever. So, the Dunning-Kruger effect basically explains a learning process, So, what happens is, you start out, and everyone is guilty of this. I'm guilty of this, especially in these times. I'm gonna elaborate on that. So, what's happening is you start here, or most people start here, with the this is a new subject basically. This is all it is the unknown. So you start into the unknown. This is time, and this is knowledge. Okay, you got that? Knowledge is the vertical, time the horizontal. So you got any subject, and you start out very, like somewhere here in your mind. You think, well, I don't know much about it, but a little, so I'm kind of in the middle. How hard can it be? So you start out, and actually, I think I would defend that stance because it's motivating. You starting here. Well, I'll get to that. So you start here, and you learn a little bit. You learn like just a little bit, and that effect, like people often think that little bit is actually a lot. Like they think, okay, I got the introduction, I got the basics, like I checked all the basics, and I understand them. That wasn't that hard. Hey, look, I know the subject. I'm a genius, basically. I'm a good example for that. That stands up here would be, in the COVID times, a lot of people on both, let's say, people said, oh, COVID, it's like a light fever. And for most people it is. But they completely overlooked all the side effects it can have and all the long-term shit it can mess with your body. Like it's really not just a fever. It's a fucked up, it's a laboratory fucking stupid virus. It's unpredictable. It's annoying. Anyway, so and on the other side as well, like a lot of people learned a little bit about the vaccines and thought, and positive or negative, like I know what they were designed for, and I know that it's a mass genocide and everyone's gonna die. Or they are safe and effective and shut the fuck up. There's nothing to be worried about. Those are both here. Like, okay. But reality actually looks like that. You know, you're basically reality. You're here. You're just begun. You're beginning to understand the whatever you're trying to learn. Let's stick with the vaccines for this example, or whatever COVID. Oh, by the way, I'm sure I'm gonna get like this blue thingy in the bottom. Even though I'm not giving any advice to what you should do, or except for one, and I'm gonna get to that. So that's the reality of the thing is here. You just you know nothing. You know nothing. Okay. And most people don't do that because they stand up here and then they look down. Okay, I'm gonna draw this. I think okay, so okay, I drew a little stick figure. It's very small, but I think you get the point. That's you, an idiot. And he looks down there and thinks, no. Down there are all the idiots. They know nothing. I just learned something. I'm up here, and he will not go another step forward in time. He's gonna be stuck here for the rest of his fucking life because he's so fucking afraid of stepping over the edge and falling, and he will. Everyone does. Everyone who starts out with anything will soon realize, oh fuck, I know nothing, I'm an idiot. I'm a fucking idiot. That's here. That's where you have your midlife crisis or depression or whatever. Like, I am useless. Here I started out with all this energy, and it led me here, and now I'm useless because I haven't learned anything, or whatever sort of thing you want to tell yourself, like the world is everyone else is to blame, because I'm really up here and I shouldn't be down there, or whatever it is. And I mean, I'm not saying there's no unfairness in the world. I mean, certainly there are many idiots up here that have a lot of power. I don't wanna, sometimes you really have a shitty boss or whatever, or I don't wanna downplay this, but let's stick with that example of the vaccine. So you landed down there for, and this is actually, if you do that, if you go one step further and come to realize, oh, I'm not sure of anything anymore, like what is going on. I thought the pharmaceutical industry was a bunch of really evil men, white men or whatever, and they're doing just horrible things. You're mostly right, but not completely. I'm joking, of course. But to the point, you came to realize that, for example, well, you get more information and you're not sure anymore. Like this one says, there are risks and very high risks, and they cause all these diseases. And another one says, well, actually, in a certain time frame, they protect and hospitalization goes down and da-da-da-da-da. So this is, if you're brave and if you're really interested in a subject, it doesn't have to be the fucking vaccines or anything. That's just an example. It could be learning a new skill, any skill, writing or moving. I mean, all these art skills are very, the road to getting better is very mysterious often, it's not, I found that often it's not so much to do with learning, like a formula, or a little bit of whatever. I'm gonna talk about the art stuff later, but in another video. But for this, okay, if you have a subject, a complicated subject, which many of them are, and you dare to jump down there, you're a fucking hero in my book, because that takes some guts, because that's so deep. Look at that. That's a long way down. That's way, way longer down than where you started out. And that takes guts, So anyway, that's not the end, you see. Time goes on. It's not the ending here. And what happens here, down here, is a freaking miracle, if you ask me. The first step you make at the bottom of this pit is gonna feel amazing. And you're not even halfway where you started emotionally, with your own self, ego stuff. Not even close. But you have firm ground under your feet. Every step you make after this plunge is gonna be more stable, more, grounded. And it doesn't mean you will never unlearn another thing, or maybe revise or stuff. But generally speaking, you really are actually getting better now. And if you keep going, that keeps on getting better and better and better, and you're gonna see, whatever the subject is, you're suddenly gonna find, oh my god, here are the footsteps of, I just tread in the footsteps of a famous magician or doctor, or whatever you want to do, or let's take the art example, suddenly you find, oh my god, Picasso was here, or Socrates, or whatever. It's incredible, and they're all like, they all did this, you come to realize that they all figured out I'm fucking stupid, and then kept on going, and like, okay, I'm not gonna, and you're probably gonna find like Socrates, he did a quick, cause he's Socrates, is pretty sick, so he got here pretty quick, but maybe later he had a little dip again, and you're gonna find, oh, I didn't have the dip here, I'm pretty sick too, I did this stage better, or whatever. But the point being, all these subjects are, it's more vast than you think. And if you come to the point where you realize one more time, this fucking thing here, the page isn't a good representation for that, because it doesn't end, it goes on. It goes on for all the more. There's no end to this. You can always know more, or there's always more wisdom. Like, there's no end to that. Maybe if you're religious, we drift off into different stuff and enlightenment and stuff like that. But even that, I think, is like, I don't know, more like a feeling and less, I don't know. We drift off now, and I think I already made a good point. So, next time you see someone telling you, this is what's happening and this is what's going on, just question it again. Search the other kind of voice. Let's take the big scenes for example, and look at that, and you will find it's probably there are risks and benefits. I personally, same with the disease itself. It's the same, and you have to make a decision for your own. I don't think that the biggest criticism you can make is that conversation didn't happen. seas chasing them, you know. And he thought, no, I'm gonna just look. That all the waves are here. Let the idiots drown. I'm gonna stand up here. But they didn't. I'm realizing this analogy is sort of getting a bit too complicated, but I think you understand the point. You know, I think, yeah, if you hear a too clear of an answer, like, oh, it's all a ploy, you know, they're manufacturing the next pandemic. I mean, yeah, I do believe that. Oh my god, the camera is shaking. I personally believe that that thing came out of a lab, but that doesn't mean it was consciously designed. I mean, just think about it. If your narrative is they consciously designed a virus that primarily kills old people, all the people in power are fucking old. Did you see any of them talk? They barely can't stand on their 2 feet anymore. Why would they design a virus that kills, you know, like stuff like that? Open up, you know, make that dive and come to realize, okay, there are probably many faults with the narrative. There are issues with the vaccines. I hope they're gonna improve them. And I've the biggest issue I have with them is that the way that they get advertised, because of course, advertising is that won't tell you the negatives and benefits and fairly list them for you and to make your own decision. It's gonna tell you that it's the best fucking thing ever and you should get it now. That's the issue, you know. Target your emotions at that and not, you know, there's a lot of information out there, conflicting information and new information bubbling up all the time, and I'm not saying, like, there are many things still on the table, you know, with alternate medicines and stuff that, again, I don't know too much about, but, you know, I'm just saying, this is getting very long, and it could be, it could be way longer. I just want to say, don't let yourself be shifted into one corner or the other. Try to find the middle ground, and you know, you start that journey by taking a plunge and realizing that you know nothing. And when you really realize that, that's when you're smart. That's all the most intelligent people know that they know nothing. And that's a quote from, I think that's a Plato quote, or Socrates or something.